your name, where we're at, and your presentation that you gave to OHA today.
My name is Louis AGARD, and I'm at the front of the OHA building, 711 KUPUNA Boulevard, and I had the opportunity to speak today about the overthrow of Hawaii and the fact that we are not annexed. The information has been forwarded to the public by the U.S. Justice Department, and they advise us that there was no treaty which is necessary to annex Hawaii. So we've often been told that we are annexed, we're American citizens, and we have to pay taxes. But that apparently is not true, according to that memo of October the 4th, 1988, from the U.S. Justice Department to the U.S. State Department, advising them and the total conditions of why Hawaii has never been annexed. It's an occupied territory, but it is not annexed. And therefore the question becomes, can a place that is not America extend or grant American citizenship to Kanaka Maoli people or any others for that matter? So that's a big question. However, the real crime in this situation is that we still have to live under this for 120 years. And we're now being told that possibly we'll have a new enrollment, and the new enrollment will get us recognized. But that is an operation that is not necessary, and we prefer to have our independence as before the overthrow 120 years ago. So we have essentially, pardon this expression, but we have essentially been living under a very big hoax for 120 years that we were annexed. But the Constitution of the United States requires that a treaty be enacted between those to be annexed, that is a consensual treaty where they agree to be annexed, but there is no such treaty. There's a resolution, and the resolution, of course, does not carry the force of law, and so the question still remains. There's no annexation. We are an occupied territory. That is what we are in the annals of the United Nations. And so we are trying now to see if we can correct this long oversight and regain our independence. And the efforts now with Nai'aupuniFEDWRECKscam would be a distraction to the extent that they're seeking what is called recognition. And if we go that route, we're very likely to lose what claims we have granted to us by our ancestors. And that is, the ancestors, like my great-grandparents, signed the KUPUNA petition in 1897 not to be annexed, and they wanted their own government. And I believe that we should be following that kind of advice for the people, from the people who lived then, and pass that benefit on to our children. Today, living in Hawaii has become more difficult. It's very hard to buy a home with the average price $500,000 up to $600,000, and then have enough money left over from your salaries, which are not high-paying salaries in Hawaii, and we have one of the highest cost of living in all of the United States. It's very, very difficult to acquire a home. Many people do not have in Hawaii their own home. So we must seek a change that will benefit the future of our families. I personally have several grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and they are not able to buy a home in this high-price market of Hawaii today. We have competition for the beautiful climate of Hawaii, is enticing people from all over the world to come and live here because it's such a nice place to live. And that, of course, drives up the cost of housing because the people that are allowed or that can travel are usually from areas where they are very wealthy. That is, they've accumulated wealth in communities which allow them to accumulate wealth, and they come here and compete with our families to buy homes. So buying a house in Hawaii at the going price is very, very difficult. We have to be aware of that for the future of our families. It is not going to get better because the attraction that there is to live in Hawaii is so great. I think that if this information is disseminated to the general public, or particularly Kanaka Maoli, then it would be a distinct benefit. And this information has been put in a writing entitled Politics, Hawaii Sandalwood Trees, and Hope. And it's available at the Naumea Hawaiian Bookstore in the Ward Warehouse Complex. So the documents in there are original sources from very creditable agencies like the U.S. Justice Department memorandum to the U.S. State Department on October the 4th, 1988, advising there is no treaty for the Hawaii annexation. And that, according to the American Constitution, in Article 1, Section 8, shows that a treaty, consensual treaty with the people of Hawaii was necessary to complete annexation. There's no treaty. It was done by a resolution. And so therefore, the citizenship of people in Hawaii can be under a big question as whether this exercise they've gone through is valid. And pardon the expression, or my wording it this way, is that we essentially have been living under a big hoax for 120 years by telling us and making us believe that we are an annexed nation. Thank you. Mahalo.
Mahalo. May I please have your name again? And do you have any way, if anybody would like to get any more information from you, like an email contact or anything?
Oh, my name again is Louis AGARD. Louis AGARD. And you might be able to contact me. It's not very efficient method of contacting, but I have a cell phone number. And if you'd like to try and call that number, 265-4525, I can get the answer, or I can get your call and respond to your question. So with that, I say mahalo nui loa, and mahalo again for being interested, and possibly this information can be useful for your purposes.
Hello there, viewers. This is the part 2 segment that I was talking to you about earlier. Today, September 5th, the ARM committee did convene, and as too unexpectedly, that first item of detail regarding the Native Hawaiian Fund funding for the OLE process was deferred. So in other words, the committee did not entertain any motion of what it is. However, they did accept testimony, which you will see from Mr. Kealoha's video presentation. Following after that, we have a 10:30 scheduled BOT statement where you will see the OHA board talk about various issues and also reflect more speakers from the 9:30 committee. So there is some confusion, but you will see a continuation of the speakers in which I myself will be providing testimonies, and some other people like Uncle BUZZY, AGARD, Henry Noah, and so forth. The whole point that was the issue we want to iterate today, as you watch, the issue at hand, the item was deferred. So in committee, the ARM, it was taken off, and the BOT, that was also taken off too. So today, as it stands, the Road Commission did not receive any money, but nor it was told that they were not going to receive any more money. So win-win, lose-lose, however, but today is a win. So You'll also see in the video the other select process of funding for the other groups and whatnot. That's all slated on the agenda, which I'm sure you'll see corresponding to this site. So keeping that in mind, you'll see various testimonies given from not only legal precedents, but only from factual precedents. You'll see things about funding for things like rock concerts and venue speaking gestures where there's no one there. There's no one in attendance, no one in signing, and the OLE board has basically been put on notice that should they continue it, we believe that you, the viewers, myself, that this funding should stop. So hopefully, not only today's message, but the future comes, this effort gets to stop. Love the airplane. Thank you. Enjoy the next speakers. Aloha.